are back at Hollywood Smoke in the beautiful city of Santa Monica. I'm Steve Kim, joined by Doug Fischer and Dave Smith for another installment of 10 Count. November 28th in Dusseldorf, Germany, the heavyweight title of the world changed hands. Tyson Fury with a stunning upset over Vladimir Klitschko. Dave, you are a heavyweight historian.
Absolutely.
Would that fight have made the top 1,000 heavyweight title fights of all time?
I was thinking about this the other day. That's the worst heavyweight championship fight since Max Baer and Jimmy Braddock.
I told you he was a historian.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was the worst heavyweight fight ever. Despite Cinderella Man, they made it look like a war.
Yeah.
That was like the worst fight ever. But this one, they made boxing a non-contact sport, these two guys. I mean, Klitschko, I don't know if he just got old overnight, but he'd plod forward, he'd start to throw that jab, and then Tyson would move on him, then he'd have to reload and reload. He couldn't get it. I don't know why he wasn't moving his hands more. At least he had to know he was losing, right?
Doug, going back to the night of April 25th with Bryant Jennings, we all said, is there some physical slippage, or was it a bad night, or did the referee discombobulate Klitschko at the point deduction? Again, hindsight's 20/20, but maybe at that age he finally went backwards.
I think it's a combination of factors. First with the Jennings fight, and then more so with the Tyson Fury fight. I think part of it was styles. Both Jennings and Fury employed lateral movement, and Vladimir is not somebody who punches on the fly. Somebody does have to have his feet set when he's letting his hands go, and everything's off the jab. He lines up.
He's a linear fighter.
Right, yes, a linear fighter. It's a very good way of explaining him. So if you're moving, he's got to get you in those crosshairs. Now, Jennings wasn't able to touch Klitschko while he was moving around the perimeter. He was too small, not rangy enough. Tyson Fury actually a little bit taller than Klitschko and a little bit rangier than Klitschko. So when Fury was utilizing the lateral movement, he could actually touch Klitschko, and Klitschko couldn't touch him as long as he was moving. But the other two factors, there's age. He's 39 years old, and he has a lot of fights. And then there's also the fact that he's married now. His wife just had a child. He's married to a movie star. That comes with its own drama. His wife, I forget her name.
Hayden
Panettiere.
Yeah.
I don't think they're married, are they?
No, I think they're married. Are they not married? Whatever. They're obviously together. They got a kid. And she, went through postpartum depression and that kind of stuff. So he has outside of the ring distractions. And if you remember, his first really widely publicized or high-profile upset loss was to Corey Sanders
in Germany.
A tall, rangy guy with this deceptive hand speed. But the story in the industry was that he had girl troubles going into that. He had a girlfriend, and there was a breakup or something like that, so he was distracted going into that. Well, you know what? Yeah, exactly.
Can't live with them, can't live with
them. Exactly. And you know what? Being in a relationship can distract you, and having your first child and dealing with that can pull you away mentally.
Dave, is Vladimir Klitschko in the wake of this loss? I don't know what it does for his legacy. I don't know if that even matters. The stage of the career certainly is a factor. Coming into this fight, where did you rank Klitschko all time on the heavyweight list?
Not in the top 10, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think he's in the right era, but he's robotic and he can't handle movement. I don't know if I'd have him in the top 20.
Really?
Thank you.
But I got a question for you guys. I read something this week that was pretty interesting. Tyson Fury, you can see that right hand coming from next week. He loops it. I heard something about Vitaly maybe. Remember, he came back and fought Corey Sanders after his brother lost. Have we seen the last of Vitaly? And they said he's been in the gym. I know he's the mayor of Ukraine now, but could we see him against Tyson Fury trying to avenge his brother's loss?
I think the man that will avenge his loss will be Vladimir Klitschko.
You think he'll win a rematch?
No, I don't, but I'm saying he will try to. I think there's a rematch clause. He's going to give up the IBF belt. He's not going to do the mandatory. I think Vladimir, in many respects, has to kind of re-legitimize himself in his whole reign because, let's face it, he fought a lot of slower, smaller, plodding guys. And the first guy that gave him any type of movement and could feint him and offset his timing, he looked amateurish. But, Doug, you know what really worried me about Vladimir, who's always been a safety-first fighter? I thought his unwillingness to stick his head into a pile was really pronounced in this fight.
Yes, it was. And it's part of the reason that he's never really been able to earn respect in the United States is that He's overly technical, and after the first Lehman Brewster fight, he learned that he can't be overly offensive, and that he has to play it safe. He can't take too many risks when he's in there with guys who can punch a little bit. It's played well in Germany. It's played well in Europe, I'm kind of glad. I mean, the fight totally sucked. It was like a game of keep away between the class clown and the class nerd, and the class clown won. I mean, in some ways, Tyson Fury clowned his way to the heavyweight championship of the world. But we should give him some credit. Like you said, he made excellent use of feints. He's an awkward guy, but he moves around really well for like a 6'8" dude who's in shape at 249, 250 pounds.
Dave, as someone who has charted heavyweights, going all the way back to the days of John L. Sullivan.
Gentleman Jim Corbett, my favorite.
You may have actually seen him fight, right? Well, you're not
did.
that old.
I sparred with him.
The Tyson Fury. How long does he keep this title? Is this an Andy Warhol run? 15 minutes of fame?
I think so. I mean, he's got his hands down at his sides. He doesn't have a great chin if you saw him against Steve Cunningham. He loops that right hand. Someone's going to buzz him with a straight right, and his championship reign is going to be over. But I think a quick prediction: Vitaly against Fury.
I'm going to go with Fury.
Fury.
Yeah.
Really?
If it was like 5 years ago, I would go with Vitaly. But like I said, I think Fury can fight. I think people judge him because A, he's a goofball. He says off-the-wall stuff. B, he's not an Adonis. He doesn't look athletic. He's an awkward-looking dude, kind of Jerry Cooney-ish. You know, he's got like the muffin type. You know, doesn't have a six-pack or anything. But the guy has good ring generalship. He knows how to box. His technique could be sharper, but he makes it work for him. I would pick Fury over Deontay Wilder, and he might be able to outmaneuver somebody like Alexander Povetkin.
I think
it's not a deep heavyweight division, as we all know.
No,
I think he can reign for a while, guys.
I think the term is awkwardly effective. He makes it work. He has a
you go.
boxing IQ. He'll never get style points, but he does know how to win fights.
And I think he's good for boxing.
Well, you know what? Let's put it this way.
I think it's good for the heavyweight
He
division.
provided a breath of fresh air that had gotten very stale with Vladimir Klitschko.
You would never say politically correct about Tyson Fury, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
Absolutely not.
So there you have it. That is it. Tyson Fury is our new heavyweight champion of the world. On behalf of Doug Fischer and Dave Smith, this is Steve Kim saying till the next round, goodbye, everybody.